Hello friends, this is Mike, that helpful dad, coming to you with another video tip on online TV. Today we're going to talk about my recommendations for 10 Netflix original movies that you can watch right now. I'm going to give you a brief introduction to some of the movies and point them out in no particular order and give you some recommendations. Now, we're not going to spend a lot of time here because I know you're going to want to get busy watching these shows, but I will give you a brief explanation here. So just a few things to point out for you here. Now, these are Netflix original movies, not just movies that may be on Netflix. These are actually made by Netflix. Just movies, not TV. We have other videos about Netflix original TV shows, etc. Again, it's in no particular order, and I'm just an average Joe like you who likes to watch online TV. If there's a movie that I missed that you really like, by all means, please point it out to me in the comment section so that I know about it as well too. And then in terms of who I am, my name is The Helpful Dad here on YouTube. I also have a website called thathelpfuldad.com. We do lots of tips about cord cutting and streaming TV, and you can access all of our content for free right there on our site. But without further ado, let's get started here on these Netflix movies. Now, how do you find these movies is really the first question. Well, when you log on to Netflix, just again, very basic, because I know we have some older folks here as well too, and I'm over 40, so I'm considered an older person too. So you click on movies, and then you go down to Netflix originals. Okay, so let's go through the list. The first one, again, no particular order here. This is Roma, and I'm going to actually turn off the sound because we don't want to violate anybody's copyright information. But Roma won an Academy Award, so this is a heavy hitter. This is an emotional piece. It's a period piece from the 1970s. I mean, you really got to be in the mood for this movie because it's going to make you think. You know, it tackles a lot of tough issues, from racism to politics to violence. It's just a very emotional movie. But if you're in the mood for that, I mean, this thing won an Academy Award for a reason. So if you want to watch a fantastic piece, right off the bat, Roma is a wonderful option for you. Okay, and again, it's a Netflix original movie, and it actually won an Academy Award. So kudos to Netflix for making such quality content. The next one is totally different. So this is one I'm sure you've heard of by now because social media turned this thing into probably was seen more times than Roma, although Roma is obviously the better movie. But this is like a popcorn movie. So it's called Bird Box, and it stars Sandra Bullock and also has John Malkovich in it as well too. And basically the story here is, there's this unseen presence that makes everybody want to commit suicide. And so I don't want to give away too much of the story here, but essentially you've got to keep yourself blindfolded so that you don't go crazy and want to kill yourself and other people. So it's, like I said, it's a popcorn movie. It's a scary movie, very suspenseful. If you're in the mood for it, it is rated R, so you're going to be careful about watching it with the family. But it's certainly a movie that, is a very popular movie, and it will, it's just a fun movie to watch. All right. The next one, you may not have heard about this, but if you like, if you liked watching Narcos, for example, on Netflix, or you like, kind of the buddy wartime movies, this is about a whole group of people who have retired from the military and they didn't really make, much money despite serving their country, and they come up with this idea to have this amazing heist from a drug lord. And so then they're going to keep all the money for themselves. And obviously things don't go as planned, but it has a great cast. You can see Charley Hannum from Sons of Anarchy. It's got Ben Affleck as well too. Pedro Pascal also, he's from Narcos and also Game of Thrones as well too. So I mean, the list goes on. It actually has some surprises that I didn't see coming, and I really kind of enjoyed the movie. So I'd encourage you to check that one out as well too, called Triple Frontier. The next one is a really interesting piece. So this is an interactive movie. It's called Black Mirror Bandersnatch, and it came out last year, and it's set in the 1980s, so you get a lot of, kind of 80s references, and it's interactive in the sense that during various points of the movie, you are required to choose what the character should do. So it's kind of like a choose your own adventure. And then based on your choice, that will change how the movie progresses. So you could watch this thing multiple times and get multiple different outcomes, just like when you read one of those choose your own adventure books. So it's about a video game designer. This kid comes up with his own video game idea, and it then kind of goes on from there. So you start to question what's real and what's not, and I was quite enjoyable. Maybe not for everybody because of the content itself being about video games, but if you're into that thing and you like the 1980s and you want to be able to have an interactive format, I would encourage you to take a look at Black Mirror Bandersnatch. Okay, the next one, I probably haven't heard of this one either, I would imagine. It's, again, all of these are Netflix originals. This one's called How It Ends, so it stars Theo James from Hunger Games, as well as Forrest Whitaker. And the long story short here is Theo James, this natural disaster occurs in America and that turns America into like a war zone. And Theo James is separated from his pregnant fiance. I believe she's out in California. And so basically, Theo and Forrest Whitaker have to team up and try to make their way across the country through this, war zone-like atmosphere and find their way to get to Theo's soon-to-be wife and baby. So really interesting, suspenseful, dark, kind of a thriller, so to speak, and very enjoyable. So check that one out as well, too, How It Ends. Okay, the next one is Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle, and this is, again, a retelling of the Jungle Book, so Rudyard Kipling's Jungle Book. We've seen a number of these movies lately. This one, it's kind of a kid's movie, but it's a little bit dark as well too, so you wouldn't want to let your kids watch it maybe by themselves, but you want to watch it with them, so in case they have any questions. But it has a great cast. I mean, you got Christian Bale, Kate Blanchett, Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right there, but they all do a great job, and the cinematronics or the computer animation, as you can see right here, absolutely fantastic. So it is suspenseful. It is a little bit dark, but you want to make sure that you understand that this is just a fantastic tale. And so if you want to watch something with the kids and you're going to be there to watch them, I think you really enjoy this movie. The next one is for fans of Will Smith. You may not know that he actually made a Netflix original movie. It's a couple years old now. It's called Bright. And it's kind of a buddy cop movie, but the twist here is that Will Smith's buddy cop is actually an orc. So, interestingly enough, you can see him right here. Basically, they're cops out in LA, and not only is there kind of gang violence involved, but there's also, issues of racism. There's issues of police brutality. There's a whole turf war going on. There is just a lot of kind of violence and suspense here. And the partners have to find a way to work together and overcome their obvious differences and realize that, there's more to a person than just what's on the outside. So there we go. That's the next one is... Okay, this is kind of like a documentary piece. It's pretty fast moving though, and this is the story of Fry. And this story has recently been told on multiple different online platforms. This is the Netflix version of the story. And the long story short here is that you had this entrepreneur who was a fantastic salesperson, and unfortunately he used his gift for basically creating the giant Ponzi scheme where he was going to get this island and do this incredible music festival and charge like thousands of dollars per ticket. And the party was called Fry, and unfortunately, it never happened. Everything he was promising, all these luxury venues and all these musicians that were supposed to be there, it didn't work out. Basically, when people got there, it was just these tents that he's had the local, I don't want to say the natives, but basically the people from the islands make, and stiff them on money. There wasn't enough money to go around, and he continued the Ponzi scheme all the way to the very end. I believe he's in jail now, and it was just the giant party that never happened. Really popular, really enjoyable from a documentary standpoint. Okay, we got one or two more left. Yeah, we got two more left. Okay, so this one, not necessarily my cup of tea, but extremely popular on Netflix, particularly among teenagers. So this is the best-selling book, To All the Boys I've Never Loved. And the basic gist of it here is you have this beautiful Asian girl, and she wrote a series of love letters, I believe 5 love letters, to all the people that she had a crush on. But she never sent the love letters, right? And so she wrote them all, but somehow the love letters got out, and she's got to deal with the consequences of this. So really popular, I mean, like I said, best-selling novel, and also a really popular show as well too. So if you're into that sort of thing, teenage romance, feel good, life lessons, that stuff, To All the Boys I've loved before. Now the final one is a new one, just came out, but I got to end on something that's, kind of exciting and fun and from my generation. So if you're a fan of Motley Crue, you're definitely, and this is a mature themed movie here, but this is the story of Motley Crue, and I believe it told from the series storyline, the point of view of Nikki Sixx, the drummer of Motley Crue. So if you liked Motley Crue and you want a kind of just a fun biographical, movie version of their life, you got to check out The Dirt, all about the story of Motley Crue. So there you go, my friends. That is, 10 movies, 10 what I consider the best Netflix original movies that are out right now. Again, you can find them by going to the Movies tab of Netflix and going down to Netflix Originals. There's other ones here as well, too. A new one, I haven't seen it yet, called The Highwaymen, that stars Kevin Costner and Woody Harrelson. So that one could be of interest. I also want to check out Legend of Cocaine Island. Haven't got a chance to see that one yet as well, too. I've heard The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind is also very good. I mean, there's just tons of them here. I also want to see Polar. This is another one I have on my list. I haven't got a chance to watch it yet, but if you've seen any of these other ones and you want to point them out, by all means, please do. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this. We've got many other videos about shows on Netflix, TV shows, movies, etc. We got videos on Amazon Prime content, and we got tons and tons of videos and tips for you on streaming online TV. So check us out at That Helpful Dad. Thanks for watching and have a great day.